your audio because if you open, it will diminish our Wi-Fi quality. So better close your video and you can listen to the lecture. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Sabihin, hindi nyo sinara. Okay. The first case that I will discuss is that should this is a political law class, a political law case, which is also a labor law. It can be a labor law question or a political law question. The issue about this is the validity of the ban issued by Senator Franklin Drilon. He was the Secretary of Labor. When he was the Secretary of Labor, Secretary of Labor, which stopped the sending of female workers to Japan because it has been discovered that those who are going there pretending to be singers and dancers are actually being trafficked as entertainers and prostitutes. So, to protect our women, the Secretary of Labor issued a department order. And this department order was questioned by many people. First of all, the recruiters, because they were making a lot of money. For every woman sent to Japan, they receive a net profit of $1,500. So if they can send 500 women a month, that will be a lot of money. $500,000. More than that. So they objected to the issuance of this order by Franklin Drilon, by Secretary Franklin Drilon. It destroyed their money-making activities. And they were also using the OFW themselves to question. So some individual OFW pretending that they were prejudiced by the issuance of this order, considering that some of them already signed a contract and they could not leave because of the ban. So the question now submitted to the is the ban issued by Secretary Franklin Drilon valid exercise of police power? Is it the violation of the Equal Protection Clause? Why violation of the Equal Protection Clause? Because only women were prevented to go to Japan. The male and the gay people were not prevented. The ban was singling out the women. So the recruiters went to the Supreme Court seeking the annulment of this ban, alleging that Secretary of Labor committed grave abuse of discretion, abuse of his authority. Some of them are alleging that Drilon violated freedom to travel, violated the impairment clause, the non-impairment clause of the Bill of Rights.
Yes.
Violated the right of the workers to seek livelihood. So how did the Supreme Court the right of the workers to seek livelihood? So how did the Supreme Court rule on this? Did the Supreme Court uphold the validity of the order? The answer is, in this case, the Supreme Court, yes, said the ban is constitutional. It is a valid exercise of police power. And this police power need not be explicitly stated in the Constitution because it is an inherent power, like the power of eminent domain and the power of taxation. It does not have to be explicitly provided in the Constitution. So, the Supreme Court in Bank in a decision rendered by as written by a great human rights advocate, the late Abraham Sabian, who was a delegate in 1975 Constitutional Convention. He was a professor of UP. 1975 Constitutional Convention. He was a professor of UP. Justice Abraham Sarmiento wrote this decision. Justice Abraham Sarmiento wrote this decision and upheld the power of the state to issue regulations like this. Although some people say that this is an encroachment on the power of Congress and also an encroachment of the power of the courts to issue injunction. But nonetheless, the Secretary of Labor, by virtue of the principle of delegation of power and exercising the more primordial inherent powers of government, protection of government, protection to. Ang sabi ng mga babae na gusto pumunta sa Japan, we don't need the protection because that protection will deprive us of our means of livelihood. Deprive us of our means of livelihood. The people, if they want to be protected or not. In the same manner that we are preventing the Filipinos from going to the back door in Tawi-Tawi, in Basilan, and in Sulu in order to go to Sabah or Malaysia to have an employment, gainful employment through the back door without passing through the POE. The state, in the exercise of police power, can prevent the workers from leaving our territory and entering the country of Malaysia in order to seek employment without forcing for the duly instituted mechanism for deployment of workers. So, you better require consent, just like a parent does not have to ask the consent of a child. The state, as a parent's padre, as a guardian of the welfare and interest of the people, does not have to obtain the permission of the people. It is a mandate in the Constitution, and it is an inherent power, even if it is not mandated in the Constitution. Constitution says the state shall afford full protection to labor, local or of persons, organized to labor, local or of persons, organized or unorganized. And it does not state that the state has to obtain the consent of the people so that the workers can be protected. There is no need for consent. So the recruiters were protecting their means of money making. Their pursuit of profit cannot be greater than the police power of the state. The freedom of the businessmen who engage in business should yield to the more primordial authority of the state. That's why the state can demolish illegal vendors. The state in the exercise, just like in the case of Kalala versus Williams, the state through the passage of laws, policies, regulations can make sure that there is social equilibrium. There is equalization of social and economic forces. There is humanization of laws. Pursuant to the time-honored doctrines of Carlos Populi Suprema Di ba naki-mute lang yung mic niyo? Meron pang nagtatay. So the Equal Protection Clause was invoked because the women were complaining. Bakit kami lang mga babayang ayaw papuntahin sa Japan? Bakit yung mga bakla papuntahan nyo? Mas mabuti pang karapatan ng bakla kaysa mga babae. That violates the Equal Protection Clause. Ano ba yan? Mumotor kayo? Bakit na klase? Okay. Yung mga babae na pupunta sa Japan pretending na magaling silang singer, hindi naman sila marunong kumanta. Marunong lang silang kumawak ng microphone. The state can confiscate the microphone. The state can prevent the Filipina from leaving. They've been holding them in the airport because they are on the verge of jumping into the deep blue sea. The state can protect you against your will. So the right to travel is not absolute. It is subject to the control of the state. Some people can be given a whole departure order. Si GMA nga, remember, Secretary of Justice by the name of Lala Dilima, pero President Aquino, instructed the Bureau of Immigration Director, who was subordinate official of the DOJ secretary to prevent the departure of GMA. That action of the Secretary of Justice was a defiance of the Supreme Court order. But was it a valid exercise of the police power of the state? Did the Secretary of Justice not commit an ultra-virus act in so doing? Ngayon, siya na ngayon ang nabilanggo, yung nag-issue ng whole departure order. So, I don't think that situation is the same with this. Because here, the Supreme Court in fact upheld the Secretary of Labor in preventing hundreds, if not thousands, of Filipino women who wanted to go to Japan. And that ban was upheld by the Supreme Court as a valid exercise of police power. The Supreme Court said that the non-impairment clause is subordinate to the police power. The police power is higher and stronger and more powerful than a non-impairment clause, because a non-impairment clause is a private right, whereas the police power is all governing. It covers the whole nation. It protects a whole class of citizens, women, workers. And it is immaterial if they are amenable or not. Their will or their decision is not. That is why even in this day, this is a two group of medical centers, and this was decided by Justice Davide. A group of manning agencies, which is licensed. No, this is not a group of manning. A group of manning agencies, like in Pasi versus Trilon. Just like this is we are still in the ban. It does not impair the right to travel. But going to the case of Conference of Manning Agencies versus BOAA, this is the case of the reasonableness of the exercise by BOAA of an order. There was an order issued by BOAA, and it was questioned by the Conference of Manning Agency. The question was set aside. The order of BOAA was upheld. Again, the name of police power. Now, there was a case involving two medical centers, two group of medical centers. This is the monopoly of medical exam. Merong dalawang grupo ng mga doktor at medical center na nag-aaway dahil ang isang grupo ay meron silang paspas na mga Gulf countries. Ano ba yung Gulf countries? Ito yung mga country na including Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, yung mga Oman, at saka United Arab Emirates. nag-organize yung mga for receiving country. At mayroong grupo ng mga medical dito sa Pilipinas na nakipagpirmahan sila ng Memorandum of Agreement kung saan lahat ng OFW na pupunta sa mga bansa na sinabi ko ay hindi tatanggapin ng mga bansa na yon kung hindi sila doon dumaan sa medical center na may basbas ng mga Gulf countries. Yung GAMCA group. Of course, yung kalaban nilang asosasyon ng mga doktor din, na pumalag sila kasi bakit monopolize yung medical exam? Malaking negosyo. There was a time at the height of the deployment to Saudi Arabia na umabot ng 1 million OFWs in Saudi Arabia alone. Sa Kuwait, 300,000. Sa Qatar, 200,000. Sa United Arab Emirates, 300,000. Ang laki niyan, bawat isa niyan nagbabayad sa medical clinic. Ngayon, naglaban sila, kinwestiyon ng mga grupo na hindi pinaspasan, na they were deprived of the opportunity to earn because the other group monopolized the business. And so it reached the Supreme Court and the committee was Justice Davide. And Justice Davide reversed the order of the regional trial court because the regional trial court issued an order those that are not accredited by the Gulf countries not to engage in medical exam for all OFWs going to the Gulf countries. Kung Japan, pwede sila. Asia, pwede. Pero pag Middle East na, sinulo na yan. And so using the principle of police power. So police power led the Supreme Court to reverse the regional trial court. And it also deprived OFW of the freedom to choose. So the Supreme Court nullified that. And the Supreme Court justified the reasonableness of exercise of police power. In another case, the Supreme Court held that management prerogatives should not be used to violate the workers. By the way, in the screen there is page 166. So if you want to look for this in your book, you will be guided accordingly. This is doctrine number 72. Management prerogatives should be used to violate the rights of labor. Okay. So you authorize the prerogatives. What is that? Are you to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ayun. Pero kung agency ang pinaglalaban natin yung ay civil rights, one's property under book 2 of the civil the right to engage. So, from the very beginning, yung money as a disadvantage because in the hierarchy of rights, the right to labor is superior to the right to management. As long as labor does not abuse, and as long as the worker must have justice, what happened? Walang audio.
Okay na po.
Okay naman, sir. Okay naman.
Okay na po. Kasi sorry po.
Problema eh. Assalamualaikum. Ngayon, nasa kuwang ka, sa Maranao.
Hindi po, papasok po sa trabaho, sir.
Saan?
Sa airport po.
Nasa airport ka nagtrabaho?
Yes.
Anong trabaho mo? Immigration?
Yes, sir.
Kumusta na yung mga kasihan?
Ayun, sir, suspended po sila. Yes, sir.
Okay. Huwag mong pahirapan yung mga OFW. Mabuti naman yun, magbibigay ka ng feedback. Okay. So, if you remember the Bill of Rights, the right, liberty, and property. Ganyan sa rights yun eh. The most important right is the right to life. That's why you are authorized to kill if your life is in danger. You have the right to self-defense. Because life is the highest right. The next is liberty. Now, before we have read this says that the job of a person is property. But now, the modern way of looking at it with constitutionalists like Justice Marvick Jr., Justice Isagani Cruz, Justice Enrique Fernando, Justice Claudio Tihanqui, Justice Muerfina Melencio Herrera, Justice Sarmiento, Justice Hilario Davide Jr. They believe that the job of a person, whether here in the Philippines or out, hindi lang ari-arian, kundi buhay. Sa kadahilanan na kung tanggalan, pagkaitan mo siya ng kabuhayan, parang sinikil at kinitil mo ang kanyang buhay at ang buhay ng kanyang bida. So, if you deprive an employee of his job, you are affecting the whole family. The children cannot continue to going to school. They cannot pay the rental, cannot buy medicine. That is practically killing the person. That's why job is not just property, it's life. You cannot deprive that person of his life without job process. That's why I do not believe in the Agabon Doctrine. Because the Agabon Doctrine, you can be dismissed even without job process, and the employer will just pay 30,000 pesos. Just like Justice Ronaldo Puno, or Renato Puno, Justice Renato Puno, who became a Chief Justice. I believe that the Agabon Doctrine is a wrong doctrine because it allows the employer to terminate the services of employees without due process and just impose the penalty of paying 30,000. I challenge you. There is no law who can waive due process and pay 30,000 to buy due process. Where can you buy due process? You can buy due process for 30,000. That's why the Aga Law Doctrine should be abrogated by the Supreme Court because it is an injustice to the Filipino working man. So, I am showing this to you because I want you to have a complete picture of the collision between the right and the prerogative. When you become a lawyer, you will be fighting either for the side of labor or for the side of management. And when you do so, you must be aware that that kind of labor dispute is equal collision of rights versus prerogatives. And the Supreme Court in this case says that the doctrine of workers' right is superior to management prerogative. The doctrine of workers' right is superior to management prerogative. Because here in this case of careers, there was a young Filipino from the province, anak ng mga magsasaka, mahirap, pero nagsikap, nag-working student, kumuha ng maritime para makasampa ng barko. Ito'y batang-bata pa, wala pang 22 years old. At siya ang inaasahan ng kanyang pamilya na aahon ng kahirapan ng kanilang mga mahal na buhay. Ito si Godines ay sumampas sa barko at pagdating sa barko pinahirapan ng mga kasama niya, lalo ng kapitan. Parang dumaan siya sa hazing. Pinapatrabaho siya, hindi siya napakain, hindi siya pinapatulog, pinag-duty siya, hanggang nasiraan siya ng bait. Si Eduardo Godines ay nagkuban at nagalagala na sa barko. Ang dapat sanang gawin ng kapitan, being the highest ranking officer above he should have exercised extraordinary diligence to protect Godines harm. Pero ang ginawa nila, pinabayaan na lang nila, pinagtatawanan pa nila, ginawa pa nilang nakapag-aliw yung kasi ng bait. Kasi na-trauma, naiwalay sa pamilya, pinakain, di pinatulog. Ang sinasabi na nga ng Supreme Court na he should not be treated like a stray dog. Isang masayang tao na dignidad, na may karapatan. Kaya ito, si Godines ay umuwi na tupay-tay ang katawan. Wala sa katinuan. At bumagsak ang lahat ng pangakatinuan. At bumagsak lahat ng pangarap ng kanyang pamilya. Kaya the Supreme Court awarded moral damages and it's awarded moral damages of $16,000 medical expenses and the arbiter's ruling granting total disability $60,000 $60,000 plus 16,000 plus 6% interest pursuant to the ruling in the case of Data versus Gallery Claims. So, lahat ng mga monetary claims, lahat ng mga monetary award na ibinigay ng labor arbitrator affirmed by NLRC hanggang sa Supreme Court, pati mga back wages na withheld ng management ay entitled to 6% interest compounded annually. So, the Supreme Court really is the last bastion of justice in this country. Just like in the question that I asked for you to answer tonight, the case of Samir and the case of Serrano versus Galat. Yan ay pareho lang yun. Si Serrano, marinero din yun. Galant Maritime Service. Binigyan, dapat ang bayaran ayon sa original provision ng Labor Code ay full back wages. So kung 24 months, nakatrabaho ng 4 months, may 20 months. Dapat bayaran lawyer ang 20 months. Because the proximate cause of the loss of that income was the act of the employer in breaching the contract by terminating the employment without cause. Ang dapat ibayad sa kanya ay 20 months multiplied by the monthly rate plus 6% interest per annum compounded annually. Bakit late ng Kongreso to 3 months? The act of Congress was violation of the principle of equal protection. Why? Sagot niyo. Because if Serrano were a land-based employee working in the Philippines, you would be entitled entire back wages. Mas maliit nga lang ang wages ng mga OFW kasi ang security of tenure nila doon sa contract nila 24 months. Pero pagka dito pa sa Pilipinas, halimbawa, ikaw, Melvin Serrada, tinanggal ka ng amo mo na si Ricardo Vasquez. Tinanggal ka ng year 2010. Tapos nag-file ka ng kaso. Nagtalo ka sa arbiter. Nagtalo ka sa NLRC. Lumabas ang desisyon ng Supreme ng 2020. 10 years mong back wages. 10 years mong back wages. Yung back wages mo sa 10 years, babayaran niya. Now, of reinstating you, you will be given separation pay of 1 month for every year of service. Reinstatement becomes not feasible due to the strained relationship. The Supreme decision became final and executive. So, 10 years back wages. If your salary is 100,000, months, 10 years, 120 months times 100 is 12 million 100. 10 and pay ka.
Ate, inom ka ng tubig. Tapos ka na. Oo, sige.